So, welcome back guys to another video, and I was cleaning out the game room because I plan on doing in a future video an updated room tour to help celebrate the milestone of hitting 1,500 subscribers. And I want to say first off guys, thank you so much for all the support. Thank you guys for subscribing, of course, and leaving comments, liking the videos, even you dislikers. No matter what you guys think about me, I still love you. Thanks guys for watching my stuff. And anyway, I was going through some gaming magazines. I don't have a whole lot of gaming magazines anymore, but I found one that I was like, man, I should really do a video on this. And that is put out by GamePro, and it's the PlayStation Complete Encyclopedia. Now, this was released in the winter of 2000, and I remember very fondly, almost like it was yesterday, buying this magazine because it was right around Christmas time. I had gotten Final Fantasy IX, I had gotten Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. It was a great Christmas. And I remember going into CVS, and I had a little bit of Christmas money, and I had the money to buy this magazine. And I was so excited about it, and they're not kidding. It covers all the PlayStation games. And what was really cool is when you first open it up, it has a little advertisement for the PS2, because the PS2 was right around the horizon. And what I like about it is the first thing it says is, the world's hottest new video games, the luxury of playing old favorites and classic high-definition DVD movies. Is there anything the PlayStation 2 can't do? Not really. And then it has the specs of the PlayStation 2. It shows you what it has under the hood, and it even talked about some DVDs, some delicious DVDs they called, that you should check out, like The Matrix, North by Northwest by Alfred Hitchcock, one of my favorite movies, Judgment Day, Terminator 2, and Toy Story and Toy Story 2. So they were even telling you some DVDs you should check out. And yeah, when you go through the PlayStation games, it's all color-coded, and it shows you the various fighting games, action-adventure games, flight simulators, puzzle games, racing games, role-playing games. I mean, it's really crazy. And they even have what they called the 5.0 Club, because the way GamePro would rate their games would be like 1.0 to 5.0, and they had a couple of games that were a part of the 5.0 Club that were just like the ultimate PlayStation games to get. And there were games like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Crash Bandicoot Warped, Doom Special Edition, Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, The Legend of Dragoon, MDK, Medal of Honor, NBA Live 97, Siphon Filter 2, I've really missed Siphon Filter, Tekken 2 and 3, Wipeout 3, and that was like, and then they had a couple other games in different subgenres that you should check out. And then they had the worst, they call it the 2.0 or lower club. And you got games like Jimmy Johnson's VR Football 98, Eggs of Steel, which was an Atlas game, also Resident Evil Survivor, Spawn the Eternal, Fantastic Four can never get a break. Also games like Digimon World, Street Fighter the movie. It's a really funny list looking back and seeing how these games still haven't really aged that well. But when I was going through it and I was looking at all the different games and looking at all the different reviews, I was kind of surprised because this magazine's only like 15 years old. But looking at the way they looked at some games and the way we look at them now is completely different. Like a good example would be Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Oh man, a lot of people slam the game and say it's horrible, but actually GamePro back in like 2000 thought this game was actually kind of cool. Graphics, it got a 4.5, sound got a 4.5, control got a 4.0, and fun factor got a 4.0. Wow, and the description that it says is, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero is an interesting, entertaining, and ultimately exhausting spin-off of the arcade fighting series. It delivers a fun and challenging game for those who stick with it. Although tough, Sub-Zero's various techniques and well-crafted stages will keep you hooked. Oh man. The controls are horrible in that game. One of my favorite things about the whole game was actually the cutscenes, because they were so incredibly cheesy. But you look at Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, and you're just like, wow. So then I started looking at some games that we hold in very high regard, especially RPGs on the PlayStation, because the PlayStation was an RPG powerhouse. And oh man, I saw Xenogears. Xenogears, graphic-wise, got a 4.0, sound 3.5, controls 3.5, and fun factor 2.5. Oh my gosh. And it says that Xenogears combines the Japanese love of giant robots with the tried and true role-playing elements we've come to expect from epic PlayStation games. Unfortunately, Gears grinds to a halt with a boring, slug-based, confusing storyline that leaves you wandering around aimlessly. A major disappointment from Square. I beg to differ, GamePro. I actually really like Xenogears, and a lot of people love Xenogears, so much that when you go on eBay, the people are charging up the wazoo. It's so funny seeing the way people looked at games back then and the way we look at them now, and maybe it's the nostalgia that we have, because back then these games were still kind of new. I don't know, but it's interesting, you know, seeing these games. And then, of course, when you go to the back of this magazine, you get what? Codes. Freaking cheat codes. You guys remember these? I remember taking a piece of paper and a pen with me and going to the grocery store with my mom and copying down these codes because I didn't always have the money to buy these magazines. And, you know, I was looking at them and I'm like, you know what's really funny is I could see all this today being DLC. You know, it's not because games don't really have cheats anymore. It's not because gamers are noble and we want to play the true experience of a video game. It's because these would all be DLC. Like a great example would be like, you know, Die Hard Trilogy 2, Viva Las Vegas, Auto Reload, Big Heads, Exploding Heads, First Person View. That would be an HD remaster right there. First Person View. We've seen that. Skeleton, Slow Motion, Level Select. Man, freaking Grind Session. You guys remember Grind Session, the skateboarding game? All tricks. I can see that being like a season pass from like GameStop. Get the season pass and have all the tricks in Grind Session. Oh my gosh. And of course the back is Street Fighter EX3 for the PlayStation 2. But yeah, guys, it was great looking at these magazines and looking at this and thinking back about the good old days and reading a piece of time and looking at the way people looked at PlayStation games then and how we look at them now. And honestly, I don't have a huge PlayStation collection, so honestly finding this magazine gave me a lot of great ideas for some future games, maybe future Let's Plays and reviews, and games to search for in the wild that kind of slipped through the cracks. And I definitely want to check them out because the PlayStation still has a very affordable library. The games are still not really that expensive. It's not like the 16-bit, 8-bit era of retro games. So, I mean, these games are so easy to find. But yeah, guys, tell me some of your favorite PlayStation games. Tell me some of your favorite GamePro magazines. But what was your favorite issue? What was your favorite cover? Oh, man. What was your favorite magazine in general? I'd love to hear from you guys. Just leave a comment below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Again, thank you so much, guys, for subscribing and hitting that 1,500 milestone on my channel. And as always, happy gaming. Can't get enough of Access Gaming Podcast? Be sure to check out our audio podcast on podomag.com. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes. And if you have a YouTube channel or podcast you'd like to share, be sure to check us out on Facebook on our group page and join the community. As always, guys, thank you so much for all the support and happy gaming.